Hello, Supermassive Gaming, and welcome to your deck review. For those of you joining us for the first time on YouTube, this is a series where I, Maltown, a normally boisterous, contentious, and hateful yeller, will calmly and reasonably talk to you about your commander deck and its weird little PP. PP is your premise and your practicum. Your premise is the idea behind your deck, which for this one appears to be Rootha, 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 Rootha. I missed a few there. And the practicum is the stuff in the 99 and if it actually helps you achieve that idea. So first we're going to talk about their idea, if it's achievable at the bracket they want, and then we'll get into what do they put in the deck, does it help? Is there anything more complicated? Wow, okay, that's a lot of words. Okay, we've copied some combos from Commander Spellbook. That doesn't matter too much. This is a deck that would be considered bracket 4 mechanically. That's insane. What on earth? What about your... Okay, okay. It's currently sitting at bracket 4 because Savage Beating and Search to Victory are 2-card input and combo. That's not bracket 4! Whoa, whoa, whoa! Whoa, whoa, whoa! Yeah, that's not bracket 4. Don't worry about that, dog. You in bracket 3. You in bracket 3 right where you belong. This is a bracket 3 deck where I would just warn people you can do this, right? Like it's a two card combo. Not really though. This is at minimum a 3-card combo. Because if you cast this on an empty board, and then you cast this on an empty board, what happens? Nothing, right? You need a creature that can hit somebody to trigger Surge to Victory, to recast Savage Beating, and then you keep going and going and going and going. So really, think of it as a 3-card combo because you need an evasive creature, you need a creature that can hit, and then you need these 2 cards, and then you need all the mana. That this is like totally reasonable. For reference, I think one of the combos that's like always held up as if this isn't okay in bracket 3, I don't know what is Exquisite Blood, Sanguine Bond. This is actually much more, this is more straightforward than your thing, because gaining life on my turn is easier than being able to safely go to combat and not get my creatures removed. So I'm not trying to dunk on you. I just want it to be really clear. You're not in bracket 4. Don't be afraid of that. You are in bracket 3 and you have a combo in bracket 3. No problems. So we're going to copy our commander a ton. If I had to pick a weakness of this deck, I'd say that it doesn't have many ways to close out the game. That doesn't make any goddamn sense, brother. Sorry, I'm getting active. You said you made deck you thought I would like to make a review on, so I'm trying to be a little more awake for it. You know, some people try to be nice, I'm gonna be a little mean with you. What the fuck are we talking about? You should have, right? If we're successful in doing this, we make an XX flying and hasty thing in combat, where X is the biggest thing we've cast. By the time we have like 2 Ruthas, that should convert to damage really easily. Now, I would believe that you don't have deterministic, I can calculate before the game I'm going to win on this turn for this much damage, done. But if you're using, right, this is the right type of thing to do. You cast a big instant or sorcery if you've broken the legend rule to clone Rootha, and then you get 2 or more triggers to make 5/5s that fly and have haste. If you are playing into a pod of 3 like birds, angels, dragons, shit, then we do have a problem. But we can get around that problem by just having like big mass bounce spells, which you probably want to cast anyway because you're going to have access to a ton of mana. So let's correct. I think that'll be about the end of the thought correction. Oh, could I make this bracket 4? Should I keep it bracket 3? Don't make cloning Rootha bracket 4. No, not going to work. You could have a Rootha deck that could be bracket 4. As you are worried about, you are going to lose everything that makes it fun. You already have a bracket 3 deck. We may have problems in the practicum that are making you struggle with this, but I think your problems are imagined. The premise, great. I love this. I love this premise. So let's look at what we put in. First thing I want to be worried about, ramp. Everything you've described to me needs a shit ton of money. Finding Rootha, whatever, fueling construction, not ramp. I go infinite with everything, true. I hate you and everything you stand for. That's pretty funny. I don't think you should be counterspelling, dog. I know I said about going to ramp first. Big important thing about Rootha, you want to tap out. Maybe you want to hold up a little bit of mana, but what you definitely don't want to do is be holding up multiple mana for responses. You are all gas, no brakes. You are down to have, like, I'm down to have free interaction. I'm down to have this one where we sacrifice a creature. I'm down to have 1 mana interaction. We're not casting this one. We're not even casting this one. We're definitely not casting this one. I'm red and I'm casting spells. I think this probably works. Like, obviously casting multiple spells in a turn doesn't help you with Rootha, but if we want to have a lot of big expensive stuff in our graveyard anyway, yeah, sure. Okay, ramp, great. 13, love to see it. Lie, 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 lie. Kind of. Good. Okay, so the reason I say lie, Molten Core Maestro, not ramp, like, I want to divorce the idea of ramp in your mind from just being anything that makes mana. When I think about ramp, think about it very literally. Ramp should be getting you up to doing the important things. So where is it important for us to ramp? It's important for us to ramp up to about 4 or 5 mana. It's about 4 or 5 mana. That is where we are playing Rootha and cloning Rootha. And everything good about the deck happens from being at 4 or 5 mana. Now, Seething Song gets us up 5 mana one time. We don't want that. We are in a cloning strategy. It is not good enough to stick our commander once. Our clone spells are also expensive. We need permanent, we need long-term mana acceleration. Stormkiln Artist, same thing. He's great. He makes a lot of money if you're storming off. If you're casting a lot of instant and sorcery spells. Know what you're doing? Not that. You're casting Rootha. You're cloning Rootha. And then you're casting 1 massive spell. Thunder. No, you're casting big spells. You need big money. Like if I offered you 10% off a Porsche, that would be a really big, like, you would be like, oh, that's so good. Porsches are so expensive. 10% off is great. You still can't afford that motherfucker. Versus 10% off a Honda Civic. Okay, now I can buy 2 Honda Civics instead of 1. That's when you want to use cost reducers. You're casting a lot of low ground shitty stuff. We're casting big stuff. You need dog shit mana rocks, bro. You need a Worn Power Stone. Because we need to, every turn, you want to turn like 5 to 9 mana sideways, do something stupid, pass. That's what you're on every step of this game. So, stuff I disagree with: Battle Hymn, Mana Geyser, Rousing Refrain, Resonating Lute, Mox Amber, Molten Core Maestro, Seething Song, Soul Ring's good. I'm just a hater, keep it. Stormkiln Artist, Thunderclap Drake. I don't like any of those. But you want instead, we got Worn Power Stone, we got, oh, somebody told me way back when the Scryfall syntax to come up with this, but we want to add 2 or more mana. We're also good with adding 1 mana, because if we do like Arcane Signet, right, that's turn 3 Rootha. I'm okay with that. So Otag, Ramp, Commander, is it? Start looking. We got Felwar Stone. You could Thought Vessel. I don't think you need to. In a cloning plan, I do think you should give Solemn Simulacrum a chance. Maybe you don't have Rootha out. They killed her because they realized what you were up to. Clone Solemn Simulacrum. I'm ramping back into Rootha. I got chump blockers. I'm drawing cards. Man, almost looks good. Don't do Myriad Landscape. Don't do Temple of the False God. Don't do Chromatic Lantern. Don't do Mana Vault. Do Is It Signet. Do Thrawn Dynamo. Do Professional Facebreaker, because you're going to have, so like, here's why Professional Facebreaker works, Stormkiln Artist doesn't. Professional Facebreaker, you can play him in a reasonable amount of mana. You can swing him most of the time at least once, get your 1 treasure, you get Rootha out, now you got Flying Dragons. They make treasure, no problem. You could do Ornithopter of Paradise. Everflowing Chalice is one of my favorites in big mana decks because it's either a good mana rock early or it's a good mana rock late. You're always happy. Ragavan's a bitch. Shit, dog, you could play Gilded Lotus. I don't think you need to. Obviously, I don't think it's one of your best ones, but mana values you care about is like 4 and 8. You don't really like being at 6. Maybe it lets you hold up a little bit of mana, but again, you should not be in the business of holding up mana to begin with. You should be in the business of holding up free interaction. You should be in the business of tapping all your motherfucking lands. Means we're at 5 mana. We'd be very happy to accelerate ourselves up to 8, 9 mana, where we can double spell things, where we can overload Mizzix's Mastery, where I can overload Psych Rift, right? Where I can cast like Amanatu's Augury, Expropriate, crazy bullshit. So, another bad one, Arc Reactor, isn't that fun? Another bad one, Eternity Elevator, isn't that fun? You don't want too many of these. I think maybe just those 3 and Thrawn Dynamo is really all you can support, and the rest should be like the 2 and 3 mana options. The 2 and 3 mana options that are going to accelerate us into being able to what? Cast Rootha, and what? Copy Rootha immediately. That's going to solve 90% of your problems, I think. I think our big problem is just that most of our ramp doesn't do much unless the plan is already working, which means if the plan doesn't start working, we just get straight cooked. Tokens, which will eventually become Rootha. That's crazy. Don't do that. You can maybe do Prismari Pianist, but that's crazy. Don't do that. What the fuck showed up in my Twitch chat? Oh, somebody followed me. Thank you. So Delina, I'm rocking with that. Magma Opus, you are huffing Copium, but this is a very expensive card. We can turn into ramp early, so I'm with that Copium. Do you have like, where's that Is It guy? Brutaclad? Do we have Brutaclad in here? This is what we think is going to happen? You probably laid out in the primer. I'm sorry about that. We probably have something that turns all of our one things into all of our another things. I don't see it yet, which makes me very unhappy. It makes me viscerally angry. Why the fuck do you have these in here? Hold on. I have no idea why we have these in here. Cut both of those guys. Or put Brutaclad in here. But then you want to be in a whole different thing if you want to do a Brutaclad version of this deck. I think you have enough Legend Rule break. Oh, it's for mirror form. Okay. Don't do that. Straight up. I think it will be, you don't need to make more tokens. You will make enough Ruthas, which will make enough dragons if you just have like mana rocks and shit. Like you play mana rocks, you play Ruthas, you turn the dragons you've already made into Ruthas, you're fine. We don't have to try to make like 300 of these guys, and we can't make great use of them. Like we don't have good use for the chump blockers. I mean, maybe Pianist, since we're going to be casting really expensive stuff, we can make 3 chump blockers at once, but definitely not Young Peasy. Tree Fitty. Sure, why not? Absolutely not. Ridiculous. You are not casting that many spells in one turn. You're casting very, very few spells in one turn. Stop the nonsense. These two continue the nonsense. We must construct additional Ruthas. Great, break the legend rule. 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 All right, you're with this. This section is correct. I think the thing holding you back, we're ramping wrong, and it doesn't seem like we're drawing cards. That's because I skipped that section. My bad. That said, Fairy Mastermind fucking sucks at drawing cards. Don't do that. Brainstorm. Yeah, we can rock with Brainstorm. Mystic Remora is fine. Treasure Cruise is great. Dig Through Time is great. Archmage Emeritus is fine. Curiosity Crafter is fine. Stocko is fine. So I think we got just enough here. We could definitely do better than Fairy Mastermind. Or is it? Or is it with like 8 mana? We don't need to rely on the card draw of our lessers to try to draw our own cards. We can just pick them shits up. So what would... Let me just see how this goes right now. All right, we have Soul Ring. Can I do anything? We have Soul Ring and then a goddamn piece of ramp that won't do anything. If this was a Palladium Mirror, if this was like a... Oh, shit, dude. Other terrible one, because you will need pips sometimes. Firemine Vessel. One of my stone cold favorite terrible mana rocks, and it will do great things for you. So like loot is good for instants and sorceries, but like we have to get to casting Rootha. We have to get to casting Rootha. We draw a card to pay a tap land. Bam, Soul Ring. Rootha. So now, let's look at the situation I'm in. I can break the legend rule, that's good. I have ramp that I don't really need. Right? Like I don't have enough creatures for this to make me a huge amount of mana. I'm not making any more creatures this turn. I have a counterspell, that's good. I have ramp. It doesn't really do exactly what I need. At this point, I would rather it be a land, so I can just cast Replication Technique next turn. We hit Seething Song, god damn it. Now this card's gonna look better than it is. We're gonna Seething Song, Replication Technique. I cannot impress upon you enough, this would have worked if it was a land. This would have worked if it was a land. Cease with the ephemeral mana. I think you are, I think right now, you are overvaluing the idea of a big Is It Storm turn. What Clone Rootha is going to do for you is just every turn you get undeniable value. Think about that. You want to ramp to undeniable value. You don't even need to put in as many pieces as I told you. We just need more pieces that are like, hey man, it's a fucking mana rock. What are you going to do about it? Or like, hey man, it's a bounce land. I have my land drop secured now. Emeritus is great. Personal Tutor's great. And like from here, everything should be fine. Right, we're gonna make 2 copies. We're gonna put 20 power on the board turn 5. So quite frankly, I don't understand what we're talking about. Having trouble closing out the game. You close out that game in like 2 to 3 turns. But I can see how we have trouble when it's like we're trying to ramp sky high for some type of blowing up the moon plan that I haven't been keyed in on. We have a cost reducer. It doesn't matter because again, we got to 5 mana. We're good. We got to 5 mana. Ain't shit matter until we get to 10 mana. And now we're in the hurry up and wait stage. And if these were just lands, we could still cast Magma Opus. If we're like holding battle him until Magma Opus, we Magma Opus, they all die. You close the game out. You get what, 4 8/8s in the air with haste? 52 power on board if you didn't lose any of your earlier dragons. So let's tie this in a bow. Number 1, you're not bracket 4 just because you have a 3-card infinite. You're good. This deck, as is, can roll in bracket 3, and if anybody presses you about it, you give them a personal note from me calling them a bitch. Don't push this into bracket 4. It will make you unhappy. What is going to make this more reliable in bracket 3 is your ramp has to reflect your actual priorities. Your actual priorities are to get permanent sources of 4 mana on the table, 5 mana on the table, or 10 mana on the table. Other shit does not really matter. Past that, in terms of winning the game, you seem to be undervaluing just hitting motherfuckers with dragons. They just 2-3 turns, pack them up. If you're having a lot of trouble because you're playing against people who have a lot of stuff in the air, play fewer counter spells, play more board bounces. You probably don't want to do Raise the Palisade, but you could do stuff like Aether Gale. I bounce every blocker you have and 2 from Tony, and then I hit you with 5 6/6s. We get there. If you're really feeling hard up for it, you could look for things that give your board double strike. I don't really think that's necessary. You could just hard cast more extra combat spells because that would win you the game intensely quickly. Like Rootha, Jesus God, she's not even limited to the first combat. Yeah, you just have any random extra combat spell. You win, dog. You win. You get there. Like full throttle. I don't even need to check, is it? All the ones are going to be, is it anyway? Do you have any instants or sorceries? I don't know how Spree works with mana value, but maybe Great Train Heist. Seize the Day. Overpowering Attack. You have that one already. World at War. My God. All these are amazing. All of these tie the game up. Damage wins games. And then I think you're good. Dump the shit I told you to dump. Anybody in the comments, you know, have any fun Rootha spells, let them know. Otherwise, I wish you the very best, and I hope this helps.